Hey guys, hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do an updated video on how I make my hair bows. So if you haven't seen before, I make these little hair bows. They have little alligator clips in the back. I make them in a few different sizes. So these are kind of just like our regular size, and these are our like mini size. And then if requested, I can make bigger ones. I will share my measurements with you guys. But yeah, if you are going to create your own bows, you can play around with your measurements and things like that. You can also use nylon hair ties, or you can make them from really thick stockings. You can just cut them and they'll turn into like little hair ties that you can put in instead of these alligator clips. Anyway, without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so in order to make these hair bows, you are going to need some fabric of your choice. Cotton is the best kind of fabric to use. It is thick enough that it holds its shape, but not too thick that it's kind of heavy in the hair. And it's not too thin that the bow is just going to flop. The bow will hold shape better just using cotton. So cotton, a ruler, you'll need scissors or a rotary cutter, some cotton. You're not going to see the cotton, so you can use whatever color. The white cotton is the cheapest cotton, so just some cotton, a needle, some alligator clips or nylon hair ties, whatever it is you're going to use to attach the clip to the hair. I just got these from Etsy, but you can get them on eBay, Amazon. Just shop around and you'll be able to find them. Some glue. Now you can either use just some fabric glue, which is the best because it dries clear and it's not too like, it doesn't show up on the bow. So some fabric glue. You can also use hot glue gun to attach the alligator clip if you need to, but I just glue mine on with this fabric glue and it's held perfectly fine. I've never had anyone complain to me that the clip has fallen out or anything like that, and I've been quite rough with them to test them out. You are also going to need an iron. So I am going to be cutting my fabric 20 centimeters by about 10 centimeters. And yeah, like I said, just use your own measurements, play around with it until you find a size that you guys like. While we're waiting for the iron to heat up, I'm just going to cut out my fabric. Okay, so once you've cut out your big piece of fabric, you are also going to need to cut out a smaller piece of fabric, and that's going to be going in the center. So you want it about 2.5 to 3 centimeters wide. Okay, so now our iron is nice and hot. All we're going to do is we are just going to take our piece of fabric and we're just going to fold over about 1 centimeter on each side. Going to do that on the other end. You can use a ruler if you're not quite sure if you like to need exactly that kind of eyeball there. And then with our smaller piece of fabric, we are going to fold it inside itself so we have a nice clean bit of fabric. You could always, if you didn't have an iron, you can always glue along the fold here. Glue this part down. But if you're going to do that, use your glue very sparingly, because sometimes the glue can come through on the good side and it kind of makes it a bit thicker and not quite as clean. Okay, so now that you have your fabrics prepped, just get your cotton and your needle. Okay, so like I said, just a nice long piece, but not too long that it's going to like knot up on you or anything like that. So This is about the length we are starting with. And then just pop a little knot in the end. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. So just take one end, fold it in, and then bring in the other end. And you want them to overlap each other a little bit. Doesn't need to be a lot, but yeah, just like a couple of mil is fine. And then I just measure to make sure that it is fairly even. Okay, then what you want to do is just grab your needle and thread and go in through the top, and then you just want to bring it back through so that you're grabbing all the pieces of fabric. And you want to bring it in and out like 4 or 5 times. And then this is what your bow should be looking like. If it's not quite even, or you want a bit more of a ruffle here, you can easily just pull your thread, your needle back through and start again and adjust them until they're to your liking. And once you're happy with it, just pull your needle all the way through and then just wrap the thread. So we're just wrapping the thread around the center 3 or 4 times and nice and tight, so that's going to hold. And then once you've wrapped it around, just bring your needle back through and then just tie it off. So I normally just go underneath the thread and then wrap the thread around the needle a couple of times to make my loop and then pull it through. And once you've done that, we can just snip it off and get ready for the next one. So once you've done that, you can play around with your thread a little bit. It might not be quite centered. You might have a little bit more on one side than the other. And this is what your bow should be looking like so far. Okay, so once you're happy with how your bow looks, you're just going to take your centerpiece that we prepped earlier, and we're just going to glue it into the center. So what I do is I just start with the glue on the good side and just glue a little bit there, bring it around to this side, and that's kind of where I stop for the moment. Then I grab my centerpiece and I pop it on there like so. And while we're doing that, we then bring a bit more glue onto the other side. So this is what the front is looking like, and then we have the opening at the back. So this is where you're going to thread in either your nylon hair tie or your alligator clip. So I use alligator clips. They look like this. And now I actually use 2, and the only reason I use 2 is because my glue takes forever to dry. So I just use the second one to hold the centerpiece of fabric in place while the glue is drying, and then we discard this one later. So if you are using good quality glue that dries really fast, this is good quality, it just takes forever to dry. But if you're using a fast dry glue, you will not need anything else to hold the glue in place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pop a little bit of glue on this flat side, and then we're going to glue it to this side, and then we're going to wrap this around. So when we bring this piece of fabric around, it's going to go through the alligator clip like this, and then onto the other side. So I'm just putting glue on the center here, the part where there is no glue so far. This is where you could use a hot glue gun if you needed to. Then we're going to open up our alligator clip, making sure this centerpiece goes in between. I hope you guys can see what I'm talking about. Bringing it right down to the bottom and then holding it into place for a couple of seconds, readjusting if you need to. Okay, this is where we can decide how much fabric we need to wrap over. As you can see, we have a lot of fabric here, so we don't need all of that. And then we're just going to take a little dab of glue just on this piece of fabric so that we can fold it over and we have a nice clean clothes. Okay, so we're all done. This is just where I need the second clip just to hold this in place while it dries. And this glue takes about 10 minutes to dry fully. So I just pop this to the side and then we'll take those extra pieces off later. I thought I would just insert a little clip on the bow in the hair. Like, this is not going to be how I would ever wear it, but yeah, you just open up the clip and you can just slide it in the side of the hair. Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 minutes or so and the glue is dry enough that I don't need the clip anymore. The clip is in there nice and strong. I won't pull on it too tight yet because it is still drying. Like I said, this glue takes about 10 minutes to fully dry. I'll go grab another one that I already have. So as you can see, it's not going anywhere. It is in there really tight and it cannot move out. Anyway, if you liked this video and you want to see more like it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps support my channel and it really lets me know the kinds of videos you guys like to see. And also, I just wanted to mention thank you so much for everyone who is following along with my small business and my YouTube channel. We have finally hit over 1,000 subscribers and I am really grateful for every single one of you guys. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next one.